story about what day was it? What risk was it? Where was it?
Oh, it was moderate risk, I believe.
Oh, it was. Okay, it was a moderate risk in Minnesota, but the day before was an enhanced risk.
Oh, yeah. Day
in
before was
Nebraska.
Nebraska and South Dakota.
Yeah. Because so I was down in Norman, and Matt was in Denver, so we figured that we would drive up to Nebraska, and then I would leave my car somewhere, and then we would carpool the next day in Minnesota, and then come back to my car the next day. And so we were going to caravan and carpool, or just chase in a caravan generally for the Nebraska day. But the supercell kind of hung right over one of the main highways, so he had to chase it from the west, and I had to chase it from the east.
Yeah.
And this was a day that had, I think it was in some insane cave this day, because I remember the echo tops were actually unbelievable. And some of the hail that fell out of that cell in Nebraska was the biggest hailstone that I've ever seen by
I left
far.
1 hour too late to see the absolute massive, what was that, like softball size?
Yep. Oh, at least
Even more.
softball. It was larger than
Yeah.
softball. I mean, yeah, I wish I had something to measure it with, but I mean, it was pretty much the size of my hand. So anyways, that started lining out, and storm motion was due north. So the problem was, we had to get up to our hotel in Yankton, South Dakota, and this line, like, we were a little bit ahead of it, but it was ripping at like 60, 70 miles an hour moving. And it had some huge hail and some torrential rain. So keep in mind, it's already night. We've already finished chasing. So I was like in the front edge of this line, going as fast as I could, trying to avoid the hail core, which was going to meet me pretty much the exact same time as I got there. And at the same time, there was it EF2 tornado?
Yeah, I was on the west side of the cell. I was in a tornado warning for so long, because this thing was moving due north. I was driving due north, and there was what turned out to be an EF2 on the ground, where that circulation was, and I was just being followed by it for well over an hour, running out of gas, with torrential rain at like midnight. It was terrible.
So you got pulled over.
Oh yeah, I got pulled over for going down the wrong side of the highway because it was raining so hard that I couldn't tell what side of the highway was where. I was just trying to stay on the road.
Well,
And the cop was like, "Oh, I'm just letting you know you're on the wrong side. Like, I'll direct you back to the right side." He directed me back. And this was like middle of nowhere, so there's no street lights, pitch black.
zero other cars. I don't think I saw another car the entire time that I was
Oh,
driving. It was
yeah.
like an hour and a half in northern Nebraska.
And my
Right.
car was on empty with like the range for gas left was just lines, so basically zero for a long time. I thought I was gonna run out of gas with this storm just
So you finally found a
coming right
gas
up on me.
station.
Yeah, I
It was
finally found a
closed.
gas station, pulled up, and it was closed. It was at Casey's, it was closed. So luckily there was another one like 5 miles down the road, and somehow I made it there. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, so when he made it, because I was like 30 minutes ahead of him, and I made it to the hotel first, and tornado sirens were blaring at the hotel, because, I mean, yeah, I had been followed by this cell for probably an hour that it was on the, well, it wasn't on the ground the whole time, just warned the entire time. And then Matt shows up, like, right as we're all, well, the people in the hotel were in the hallways, hunkered down in the storm shelter and stuff like that, and then Matt just shows up and gets out of his car, hides it from the hail, and then we go park. Anyways, go to sleep, we're like, dang, I can't believe we didn't get any hail, we didn't get hit by a tornado, it's a good day. And we just wake up at like 3 a.m. to the sound of tapping against the window, and we look outside, and there's some fat hailstones just coming down, and so after all of that, his car still got hail damage from...
After all of the storm chasing I've ever done, I might have gotten a couple dents here and there, but that was the only true widespread hail damage I've ever gotten. 3 in the morning in Yankton, South Dakota, and my windshield is still cracked to this day from that.
That's a you problem, though.
It is.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell button so you're notified every time a video like this comes out. And while you're at it, why don't you check out chasepal.us. That way you're able to connect with us over all social media platforms.